Witness the most horrifying moment that happened in real life.
If you're watching this alone, you might want to turn on the lights. Today, I'm sharing two true stories so disturbing, they haunt everyone who hears them. These aren't campfire tales, these are real encounters with the unthinkable. One is about a young woman stalked by a presence in her own home. The other, a man who discovers a horrifying secret living under his roof. These stories will change how you see your home's shadows and silence. Ready? Lock your doors. Let's begin. Our first story is about 19-year-old Alicia, who moved into a cheap studio apartment in Portland, Oregon. The place was old, the landlord odd, but Alicia was thrilled to have her own space. For a few weeks, everything was perfect, until she started waking up every night at exactly 3:13 a.m. At first she blamed stress, but the feeling of being watched grew stronger each night. Then came the scratching, soft at first, then frantic, always from the vent above her closet. She tried to ignore it, but the sound became impossible to drown out. The landlord dismissed her complaints, blaming pipes, but Alicia knew better. One night she heard a whisper from the vent. It was faint, but definitely human. Terrified, she set her phone to record overnight, desperate for proof. That night the scratching returned, slow and deliberate. Then, the whispers, clearer than ever. In the morning Alicia listened to the recording at a coffee shop. The whispers were chilling, but one phrase stood out. "She's awake, hide." Alicia went straight to the police. At first they were skeptical, until they heard the recording. Two officers accompanied her back to the apartment. They inspected the vent, noticing fresh scratches around the screws. When they pried the grate off, one officer recoiled in horror. "There's someone in there!" Backup arrived. The fire department cut open the wall and vent. From the darkness they pulled out a filthy, emaciated teenage girl, Sarah, missing for 2 years. She'd survived in the vents, sneaking into apartments for food, watching tenants through the slats. Sarah had been the source of the scratching, the whispers, the feeling of being watched. She was taken to the hospital, her mind shattered by years in the dark. Alicia never returned to that apartment. The knowledge that someone had watched her sleep from the walls was too much to bear. She wasn't crazy, she was being watched. And the question that still haunts her, was Sarah ever really alone in those vents? Our second story is about Jason, a 32-year-old living alone in a quiet suburb. One night he got a text from an unknown number. "Nice shirt." He shrugged it off as a wrong number, until the next day when another text arrived. "Tough day at work?" The messages kept coming, each more specific. "The movie you're watching is terrible. You look tired when you sleep." Jason's sense of safety evaporated. He searched his house for cameras, but found nothing. The text became a daily torment, always from new, untraceable numbers. One afternoon after mowing the lawn, he found a message. "You missed a spot by the rose bush." Panic set in. The rose bush was hidden from the street. Whoever was texting him had to be inside his house. Grabbing a knife, Jason searched every room. Nothing. Then he remembered the attic, a place he hadn't checked in years. He climbed up, flashlight in hand, heart pounding. The attic was filled with old boxes and dust. But behind the water heater he found a pile of blankets, empty water bottles, and a backpack. Next to it, a phone, propped up and streaming live video through a tiny hole in the floorboards. The feed showed his hallway, where he'd just been standing. On the phone were hundreds of videos. Jason sleeping, eating, living his life, unaware he was being watched. Someone had been living in his attic, sneaking down at night, sending the texts, and recording everything. Jason left the house and called the police. The intruder was gone, leaving only the evidence behind. Jason sold the house, but the fear never left him. The person was never found. For months, he was never truly alone. Still watching? You're braver than most. These stories aren't about monsters outside. They're about the terror that hides inside your home. For Alicia, it was a desperate soul in the walls. For Jason, a phantom roommate above his head. Sometimes the real horror isn't what's trying to get in, it's what's already there watching you.